G'day everyone and welcome to my first tutorial in After Effects. Today's tutorial is the marble intro. Now I'm going to be showing you how to edit in the pictures and also how to bring in the title and the background. First things first, we need to bring in to create a new composition. Now I'm using the length of 10 seconds. Just default, I think. So go in there. Next thing we need to do is we need to create a new solid layer. So go in there. Now the color of the layer is up to you. You know, blue, yellow, green, whatever floats your boat. So hit OK. I'm going with red because it's the marble color. Now the first thing, or the next thing to do, should I say, is to bring in some images. Now, sorry if you didn't see that, I'm going to File, Import multiple images or multiple files. Now it's pretty good if you've got all your pictures into a picture folder if you've already organized it for that. So okay, I've only got 5 images because I'm just doing a tutorial, but you're going to need around about 100 pictures for this if you don't want any repeats. I'm going to do a repeat of this, so yeah. Saves a lot of time and effort on my side. So let's go. I'm just going to create a folder so we can put all those images in there, so you don't have like 100 or so pictures in your project plane. I'll just show you how it's done there. Okay, so we need to select a picture, bring it into your plane, and what you do is you need to resize it or place it however it looks good to you. So I'll go with that. Alright, first things first, we need to change the length of frames that the image is going to be on the composition. So we need to change it to 4 seconds. Sorry, I keep saying seconds, I mean 4 frames. Excuse me. Need it at 4 frames, so bring it down, 4 frames. Now as you can see, it's at the start of the comp. We don't need it at the start of the comp. We want it so the background comes in. So we'll put it at 4 seconds. Alright, 4 seconds, 4 frames. God, get off the seconds. So at 4 frames, so bring it up here, highlight the layer, and we need to duplicate this. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can hit Control D, or if you don't like that option, you can go up to Edit, and there's Duplicate there. Okay. Now we need to offset this. Just put it about there. You need that around on the last frame of this layer. Okay. Now I need to rename this. Just going to put in edited. How do you spell edited? I want to say edit. That'll do. Edit. Now, this is where the animation starts. So you need to go up to your rectangle tool up here. Make sure it's a rectangle. And if you've got this highlighted, I don't at the moment, there's, as you say, it says Tool Creates Mask or Tool Creates Shape. Make sure it's on Tool Creates Mask. Otherwise you can have some problems. Okay, so what we do is we draw a rectangle mask like that, just showing a bit of the image at the top. Okay. Now make sure that you select your selection tool and your pointer. Make sure you select that, and then come down here, down to your mask 1. It says there. Bring the drop down menu and click the timer on the mask path. This will set it in as a frame, keyframe, so that you can move. Then you go forward, select that, and bring it down a bit. And as you can see, I've made another keyframe. Go frame forward, down a bit further. Oh wait, make it a little bit further. Okay. Right, like that. Then we go forward and it goes full. Perfect. Now, as you can see, it's not really, doesn't look that good, does it? So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a blur so it looks like it's a flipping page. So select the layer, go to Effect, Blur and Sharpen, and select Fast Blur. Now in your options here, you got in your blur dimensions, you need to change that to just vertical. Yep, just vertical. And then turn your blurriness to 100. Beautiful. Now if you can see now, it looks like it's blurring, like it's moving, and that's what we want. Okay, so we go to this frame here, go frame to there, and then we want to go back to our project and select another picture. So we select the next picture down, put it in, and resize it and place it where you want to, just like before. Alright. Now we need to change the frames again on the picture. So, like always, change the frames. Perfect. And we want to change that to 3 frames. Okay. Now duplicate that and put that one to the end there, and change the duplicated layer to 4 frames. Come back down here, hit your enter key, and rename the layer. Now we start all over again. Go to your masking tool and start your mask. Make sure that you do this, start the stopwatch on there, go forward, bring it down, go forward again, and down again. Beautiful. Right, once again, go to Effects, Blur and Sharpen, Fast Blur. Make sure your dimensions are on vertical and your blurriness is at 100. And as you can see there, beautiful. Come in here, go to the next frame across, we'll close that down so it shuts everything down. And then we go back and we select another image to go on top there. Resize and edit it the way you want it. Perfect. Okay. Now we've got to change the size of the frames of the picture. Once again, like that. Zoom back in. You're going to make that, should make it 4 frames. You can duplicate that layer again, make it there, and then change this one down to 3. Enter, rename your layer, and then we start the whole process again. Grab your masking tool, and over again. It's pretty repetitive, but once you start getting the first or couple in, you start to remember what you need to do. Go to there. This one's a bit too early on the, there we go. Alright, like that. So we select that one again, go to effect. Now that you've used your fast blur a couple of times, it should be just here, so you don't have to go into blur and sharpen all the time now. So just select that, vertical 100, and you repeat the steps again. Go again, back to project, next picture. Change the size. Make sure it's 4 frames. Duplicate it. Change this one down to 3. Hit enter. Rename. And then we start with the masking tool again. Like I said, it's quite easy once you start to know what you're doing. It just takes a lot of time once you've got a lot of images to go through. But pretty time spending on editing, but it's what we do to make things look good. Go forward. Bring that down again. Put in your fast blur. And make that vertical and your blurriness 100. Simple as that. One more image to go. And then we'll start getting onto the colour. So back to project. Bring it in there. Go to there. And bring that in. Oh, that's a big one. So there we go there. Bring it in. That looks good just there. Alright. Change the size of the frame rate again. Frames of the picture. Like so. Oops, that's the wrong button. Make sure it's 4 frames long. Now duplicate it. Bring that down there. Bring this down to 3. Hit enter. Rename your layer. And so. And then we start again. Masking tool. Bang. Selection tool. Down to mask here. Hit the stopwatch. Frame ahead. Down we go. Next frame. More. Fast blur. Vertical. 100. That's right. Just looks weird. Okay. Now that's your basic frame by frame picture thing. You know, blah 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 blah. Alright, so as you can see, we've only got about a second of footage there. I'm just gonna copy these here. Control C. Now you need to unselect the layer and then hit paste. It'll come up like that. Okay, so I'm going to copy all them to about the 10-second mark, and I'll come back and show you how to bring in the background and the writing. Okay, now that I have put in all the copies, as you can see there's over 140, so that means you'll need around 70 photos because they're double layered, as you can tell. So about 70 photos, and it'll get you about 9 seconds. We don't need the full 10 because usually the last 2 to 2.5 seconds of the clip is just red background. Okay, so now we're going to start with the background. We're going to do the background, but first there is, as you can see, 141 layers there. So just to shrink the layer, all these layers, we're going to minimize the plane and select all them. Go to pre-compose and name it flicker. Okay, so as you can see, it's all gone, all the layers and all that stuff, but what it is it's turned it into its own little composition. So it's there, so you can just put it in. Okay, now we need to go to about the 3.5 second mark, so about there. And now we need to put in a new solid layer. A new solid. You can make it the same color, or you can change the color if you don't like your original background color, but I suggest having the same color as your background. So we go OK. Now we need to change this up to here, because we only need it to see it from there onwards in the comp. We don't need to see this, otherwise it's just going to go boom straight to red. So we need to change the opacity of this. So we need to, hang on, there we go. Alright, select a layer, hit T for opacity, and we're going to put this at 0, and we need to put a marker down just to make sure. Okay, so I'll bring it in around about the 7 second mark. Go to here and change it to 100. So we've got, as you can see, fades in. And it looks pretty good. That looks alright for me. Maybe a little bit further off. So I'll make it 7.5. That's 7.5, there we go. Around there. So it gives you at least a good 2 seconds of a solid background, because we're going to be bringing in the text. Okay, now we're going to bring in the text. So we need to go at least around about the 4 second mark here. We'll go to the 4 second mark. Now you can get the Marble font, I'm guessing, online. I haven't got the Marble font, so I'm just going to use the unrealized one I have. It's kind of similar, but a bit different. I like it, it's better, I reckon. So go up to your text tool. Make sure that your text is white. So select your color there. And put in your title. I'm just going to go with Marble. You need to position this into the center of the screen, the center of your frames. So hang on, like that. Oh, accidentally bumped the right button. Right, like that. Okay, so now we need to make sure that it is a 3D layer. And you say 3D layer, why are we making it a 3D layer? Because we're going to bring in a camera layer. So you go to layer, new camera. Let's go OK. Alright, now with this, we're going to need to put in a position. And our position with the marble, you don't want it coming up just there. So what we need to do is go to your unified camera tool. Now hold down shift and your right mouse button and drag up, and it should bring it up to, and this is where you can get the this is where you can move it so it comes in perfectly to the center. You can get camera tool again, shift and drag up. Nope. And, accidentally keep hitting the right mouse button. Okay, but there. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Camera tool, shift, drag up. Yep, that looks about good. It looks good. Just move it across just a little bit. I'm being a bit anal, but you know, you get the gist. Okay. And yeah, you just want to make it so it comes to about where it just blacks out. There. Okay. Now we hit in the position. Alright. Now we don't want the, bring this up to about 8 seconds. About 8 seconds there. Yep. And then we go back up here, hold shift, drag down, so we bring in the text to there. Right, perfect. So then it looks like that. Now, you say Marvel usually is pretty, doesn't come in that solid, that quick, you know, the white. So easy done with that. We go down here. We go down to the 4 frame here, where we started. And then we go down here, bring up the opacity. Bring in 0. Now first we might want to put our text up to here. So we go put it at 0 and put a marker. Now when you get up to where it sits there, you put it at 100. And there you go. Let's have a look at that in real time. Let's just do a bit of editing. And there we go. And that's how you create a Marvel intro. Not too shabby, if I do say myself, and pretty simple. The only problem with it is there's a lot of editing with the pictures. As you can tell, the last 2 bits are pretty easy. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.